It's a neat concept. I love that thing that you're talking about. Instead of thinking vertically, it's horizontal. It's about the melody, but you can do shapes and take it in and out of the tonality, right? And,
yes.
I have another fellow grad, Rick Margitza, is going to be on the show here.
Oh, good.
Next month, and he's been one of my favorites and recorded on a tune on that same album, In the Now with Brecker, and he's been doing a very hip thing on Facebook.
I've seen it.
Entire year, he's giving away a new lick every single day. His goal is to do 366 of them because it was a leap year. So he's like, and it's all different categories, over one chord, over a 2-5-1. But when you hear someone, these great tenor players like yourself, when our listeners out there, if you hear somebody going, wow, he just kind of playing out, or I love the quote from The Office, why don't they just play the right notes, It's like, I hate jazz, just play the right notes. It's way more sophisticated than that. It's purposely like taking the harmony another place and then coming back with a great resolution. And a tune that's one chord like this, Miles, hearing Kenny Garrett play over that type of thing, right? That when I was at that was a big thing, and we went and saw Miles. Yeah, the whole school was there basically. It was like, man, we got to go to this Mecca. So then after the fact, we should let people know I actually added some effects toward the end of your solo, which you did not do, and it's sort of this cool collaboration thing, because then I can do it real time, and I've done enough with my setup where I try to do it organically, like you're saying, be in the moment, not too much planning, and just feel it, and use my iPad to trigger different sounds. And I think it's really cool. It's very interesting that you said Austria is steeped in tradition, but then it's really modern. And actually, that's kind of what I'm into and have been for a while with my electric trombone setup and Ableton Live. And I'm a jazz musician. I love playing quartet in a club and playing standards, but I've done that a lot. And I've always kind of loved this funk thing and the electronic thing, and using pedals on my horn and kind of doing something new. So I've really embraced that the last few years. And and I thought with the Sonic Tonic experience, it's cool to have the guests all maybe step out of their comfort zone and play this, and you're a classic case for this. I'm so psyched that this worked out and you were willing to do it, because you're a self-proclaimed, acoustic jazz saxophone player and composer. And but the beauty that I find with musicians, especially if you're open-minded, you're creative, and you have this skill, this, decades of practice, you can apply that to anything you do.
Yeah.
And so, Turbulent Altercation, you sent me a few takes, and I loved your email saying, man, I just don't feel good about these. This is not that happening. And then, and I read that before I listened to them, and then I listened to them, and I just laughed because in a good way, going, everybody is their worst critic,
Yeah.
So you're all thinking this is not good, and I'm hearing it and going, how refreshing this is, man. And this whole thing is on E minor. It's Dorian mode. That's it. But you're coming up with all this stuff really complex over this really cool funk electronic rhythm. And so how was the experience for you? I mean, what did you feel while you were recording?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question, because a lot came up. First of all, I was scrambling to figure out how to make GarageBand work, and to see the seconds rather than the bars or something like that. It's like I was just trying to get all this stuff together. But my first book is called Melodic Improvising, and it was published by Advanced Music in 2005. That was a huge and extremely valuable journey writing that book, and it's become the focus of my musical life, really, the development of melodic ideas and how they are developed. And I started to realize that for me, melody is, and I'm a very harmonically oriented person, but melody is what I do on the saxophone. I can express harmony, but it's always expressed as a group of tones that are not simultaneously played. In other words, it's not a chord, it's a line. And so this book was really, really important for me. And my second book, which I'm working on now, is called Linear Tonality. And the idea is that the notes that an improviser plays or a composer writes, the line itself develops a feeling of coherence and togetherness and, for lack of a better term, tonality that is more important, and actually always was more important, than the vertical note to chord or note to root relationship. And unfortunately, all of the analytical tools that have been developed for bebop, for example, are essentially useless. Melody that is free of harmonic reference is the way that Miles Davis Quintet played on the Live at the Plug Nickel recording. It was Miles Davis Quintet in 1965, December 22nd and 23rd in Chicago at the club called the Plug Nickel. And the story is that on the airplane, Tony Williams said, "Hey, let's play anti-jazz." And so they played standards. And so there's one take of Autumn Leaves where it's Wayne Shorter solo, and for 55 seconds, I think, Wayne, Herbie, and Ron Carter are all completely without harmonic reference. And then Wayne throws in the main theme, and they're all right there again. And so coming back to your tune, the thing is, I was realizing I don't really play with machines. I play with people who respond to what I do. And so my improvising, the format that I get the most out of and feel the best about now is when I play with people and there's an organic development of give and take, and a creation of counterpoint. And so I recognize how challenging it is when I am the only voice that actually does anything at all. And so I was really frustrated by that. And as I wrote to you, I felt like the ghost of Michael Brecker was always looking over my shoulder, like, he is the absolute, the king of this domain. playing tenor saxophone over funky grooves and so I was just like, I don't want to play like Brecker. Actually, I can't play like Brecker. So, but that's why I said, here, you do it, because each one of those takes, I felt like I got into something, and then I'm looking at the counter going by and going, oh no, when do the trombones come in? Boo, 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 boo. And when's the head come back? And then I got to play the head. So, but it was really fun.
Great, I'm glad to hear it. And that's the point. I think it should be fun, and it should challenge you